guys! Welcome back to our vlog. How are you today? I hope you're doing fine. On today's video, we're gonna tackle about Module 1, the Triple B, the breath and blood in your body. This module will help you to explain the mechanism on how the respiratory and circulatory systems work together to transport nutrients, gases, and molecules to and from the different parts of the body. But before that, I have a question for you. Have you ever noticed your chest rise and fall as you breathe deeply? What do you think is the reason for it? Let's do some short activity. But if you have serious medical conditions, don't perform this activity. As in, don't, okay? Okay. First, you need the timer and the notebook. So, this is the procedure. Relax while sitting for 5 minutes. Then after 5 minutes, observe your breathing pattern. And get your pulse by placing your index and middle fingers on your wrist. And then set the timer for 60 seconds. Count the number of beats you feel. Record your pulse rate in your notebook. After getting your pulse rate, jog for exactly 1 minute and do 10 push-ups. And when you are done, repeat steps 2 to 4, then compare your records. You can now answer the guide questions on your module. Respiratory system consists of organs in your body that enables us to breathe. When you breathe, air enters your body through your external nares, commonly called nostrils. Then air travels down into your throat, larynx or voice box. Trachea or windpipe separates into 2 branching airways called bronchi. Each bronchus branches off into smaller tubes called bronchioles, which end in the alveoli or tiny air sacs. The lungs, as the main organ of the respiratory system, carry out the exchange of gases as you breathe. As you inhale, your diaphragm muscle contracts, moves downward, and expands the chest cavity. At the same time, your ribs move up and occupy more space and less air pressure inside the lungs. And as you exhale, your diaphragm relaxes and returns to its original place. The chest cavity and the ribs return to its original size, allowing less space and a greater air pressure inside the lungs. Next is circulatory system. Circulatory system, also known as the body's transport system, is responsible for transporting the nutritive fluid and waste materials throughout your body. This includes the heart, blood, and blood vessels. The muscular pump that propels the blood throughout your body is heart. The blood, which is the transporting medium in your body, travels through your blood vessels. It has 3 major types, namely arteries, veins, and capillaries. Arteries are the blood vessels that deliver oxygen-rich blood from the heart to the tissues of the body. Each artery is a muscular tube lined by a smooth tissue. Veins are blood vessels that carry blood towards the heart. Most veins carry the oxygenated blood from the tissues back to the heart. Capillaries are small enough to penetrate body tissues, allowing oxygen, nutrients, and waste products to be exchanged between tissues and the blood. The circulatory system consists of 3 types of circulation that work together. The pulmonary circulation refers to the movement of blood between the heart and the lungs. The coronary circulation supplies the blood to the tissues of the heart. The systemic circulation provides blood to and from the tissues of the body excluding the lungs. So here, it says that coronary circulation supplies the blood to the tissues of the heart only, while the pulmonary circulation is the movement of the blood between the heart and the lungs only. But here in the systemic circulation, the tissues provides the blood to and from the body excluding the lungs. It means except the lungs, so the lungs is not included. For better understanding, let me give you keywords to remember in these three types of circulation. The keywords in the pulmonary circulation are movement, heart, and lungs. The keywords in the coronary circulation are supplies and heart. And the keywords in the systemic circulation are provides and excluding the lungs. The respiratory system and the circulatory system work closely together for supplying all the body cells with oxygen and at the same time for disposing of the waste carbon dioxide. Next is, I will explain how blood is pumped by the heart and the mechanism of how the respiratory and the circulatory systems work together. Breath and blood of my body. The heart is the muscular pump that propels the blood throughout your body. The oxygenated blood enters the right atrium of the heart through the inferior vena cava. Then, the oxygenated blood travels through the inferior vena cava and the superior vena cava. The oxygenated blood vessels through the right ventricle and passes through the pulmonary artery to the lungs, where the blood loses carbon dioxide and gains oxygen, which becomes oxygenated blood. The oxygenated blood is carried back to the left atrium of the heart via pulmonary veins. The blood is then pumped to the left ventricle, pumped next through the aorta and to the rest of the body. This cycle is repeated. The air inhaled and held in the lungs is transferred to the blood, which pumps the blood from the lungs to the body. In that case, the respiratory system and the circulatory system work closely together to make sure that your body receives enough oxygen and at the same time removes the waste carbon dioxide from your cells. This is the cycle of how blood is pumped by the heart. The oxygenated blood passes through right atrium, right ventricle, pulmonary artery, lungs. From the lungs to the left atrium, pulmonary veins, left ventricle, aorta, and to the rest of the body. Remember, respiratory system is linked to breathing when there is an exchange of gases. This system includes the nostrils, sometimes mouth, pharynx, larynx, trachea, lungs, bronchi, bronchioles, alveoli, and diaphragm. When you inhale, the diaphragm muscle contracts. When you exhale, the diaphragm muscle relaxes. The diaphragm helps the air go in and out of the lungs where the gas exchange occurs. The circulatory system delivers nutrients throughout the body. This includes the heart, blood, and blood vessels. There are three types of circulation that work together: pulmonary circulation, coronary circulation, and systemic circulation. Respiratory and circulatory system are essentially meant for each other. The common function of each other could not be attained without the other system. So in short, if the respiratory system is damaged, the circulatory system will not work properly. And this is the end of the Module 1. After discussing the Module 1, you are expected to identify the key parts of the breathing system and describe the function of each part of the breathing system. Explain how the lungs work. Describe how the movement of the diaphragm helps air go in and out of the lungs. Identify the components of the circulatory system. Explain the different types of circulation. Explain how blood is pumped by the heart. And explain how the mechanism of the respiratory and circulatory systems work together. Thank you for watching!